Alright, when anime character use their ultimate power. Yeah, I've been reacting to a lot of anime recently, huh? That's a good thing actually. I'm getting updated because I stopped watching anime for a minute, so now I'm getting back on business. You feel me? And by the way, I upload Mavericks vs on Timberwolf, but I'm saying it because there's a chance that you get blocked because sometimes NBA do block my videos, but it's not the first time. So I'm just saying, just in case if you don't see the upload or the video, basically meaning got blocked.
Many of us are drawn to anime for different reasons. One is for the waifus, two is for the plot, three is for the animation, and fourth, the one that got us hooked in anime, is their powers. Growing up, many of us imitate the ultimate moves of our favorite characters such as Goku's Kamehameha, Naruto's Rasengan, and Ichigo's Getsuga Tensho. To be honest, the list could go on for a very long time, and as we speak, a lot of people are being drawn to anime. There are many moments in anime where both the protagonist and the antagonist show us their ultimate powers, and today we'll be counting down the top 20 moments where characters show us their ultimate powers. Starting off strong, look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, you're wrong. It's Pain. Ready to destroy everything.
I remember the first time I watched anime. I watched Pain pulling up on fucking Konoha, but I was like, holy fuck. He was destroying everything, bro. That was definitely an
This
epic
iconic moment was burnt in the memories of those who watched this scene as one of the best displays of ultimate power moves. I mean, being able to destroy a whole village by yourself is something very few characters can achieve, and Pain did it like it was a piece of cake. Hovering over the Hidden Leaves territory without anyone to stop him in his tracks, Pain successfully brought despair down to the citizens of the Hidden Leaf village that even the Hokage at the time was helpless in front of Pain's absolute power. Tsunade and the other ninjas watched helplessly as Pain decimated their precious village and reduced it to nothing but rubble. Pain's almighty push proved to be a devastating technique.
I might need to watch Naruto again, bro.
With ease. To this day, that
the
Shinra
sound with all those,
the Japanese dub,
the song they were putting with all the,
it
it was just so good, bro. But I already watched Naruto like 3 times, but still, this is just so good. Holy.
Now, before we continue, let me ask your little weeb heart for just a moment of your time to present to you the sponsor of this video, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends is a mobile RPG. With Benimaru's abilities and proficiency in combat, he may as well be a one-man army. His control over his
I watched the first season, but I didn't finish the rest though.
His skills to near perfection, and in his fight with the demon,
I heard some people telling me that the main character got so OP, that's, I don't know, some shit like that.
He really is. When his first attempt at exorcising the demon using EI Chop, Form 7 Sun Wheel failed, Benimaru decided to borrow Conroe's technique, the Crimson Moon, which ultimately finished the job. Not only did Benimaru erase the demon from existence, but with the firepower Benimaru possesses, he quite literally lit up the night sky in a sinister red color. The build-up of the story, the choreography of the fight, the sound effects and the visual effects all worked together and created what's possibly one of the best scenes in anime when displaying overwhelming strength.
The sound every time they're fighting, bro, it's just so satisfying, bro.
Moving on, we have Orochi Katsumi breaking the sound barrier with his punch to try and defeat Pickle.
Oh, no, this one. Why the animation look like this?
In the battle against Pickle and Gatsumi, we all know Gatsumi lost, but Gatsumi was able to make Pickle recognize him as a strong and worthy opponent. With Gatsumi's new technique, the Mach Punch didn't just send Pickle down to his knees, but he also sent Pickle flying by countering Pickle's assault using his new attack. Quite ironic actually how a small man can produce so much force that it emulates the T-Rex's tail swing. Yep, you heard me, Pickle saw his greatest nemesis during the Jurassic era in Gatsumi. Gatsumi's Mach Punch can travel an astonishing speed of Mach 78, or to be precise, 96,314.4 kilometers per hour. Now, I don't know about you, but a punch at that speed would probably blow your head off. With the destructive power, his punch doesn't just hurt Pickle, it also destroys Gatsumi's hands and foot. Although Gatsumi's Mach Punch can only be used once as it destroys the user's body, he proved to everyone that was watching that he's a force to be reckoned with. In just a few days, he created a move that for a short while was able to turn the fight in his favor. Coming up next is the honored one.
Oh, the purple one.
Kyoshiki Murasaki.
Yeah, killed Doji. Doji.
Without a doubt, Gojo's
in peace,
existence
buddy.
is basically a walking flex, but when he was on the brink of death because of
Well, he
Toji's
was.
surprise
Not
attack, he
anymore.
quickly demonstrated his superiority unlike anyone else. The only mistake Toji made when he thought he finished the job was that he didn't make sure it was done for good. With that opportunity at hand, Gojo broke his limits and came back stronger than ever. In their rematch, Gojo makes it clear that Toji doesn't stand a chance against him and completely dominates the entirety of their fight and finishes the job by unleashing the Gojo clan's secret technique, the Hollow Purple, ultimately ending Toji's life and blowing a hole right through his body and anything behind Toji. With that, Gojo yet again eliminated another person who could rival his strength in his own verse. It was a quick attack that resulted in Toji's quick death.
And he's smiling as well, bro. That's insane.
その時点で負けていた。
Following Gojo, if you like moments where anime characters go into rage mode, then you'll probably like
Oh,
Gon's
that's
entry.
on take center.
When Neferpito failed to keep
When he
her
lost
promise to
control of
revive
himself.
Kite, it prompted the creation of their greatest enemy yet, Adult Gon. Consumed by rage, Gon made a Nen contract, allowing him to sacrifice all the Nen he'll ever have in his life to kill Neferpito. The result of Gon's action allowed his body to mature into where he was at his prime, a muscular adult with immense power and Nen aura. In this form, Gon was on the same level as Meruem, the king of the Chimera Ants. The way Gon brutally ended Neferpito's
Wait, that's what he
life
will be
using his
when in
bare
the
hands
future?
was a testament to the word
When he's gonna be in
ultimate
his
power
prime?
itself.
Really?
And even Neferpito admitted that his fangs
Holy
can reach
shit.
the king. Without a doubt, Gon's rage moment and transformation is a feat that's worthy to be on this list.
だからありったけを
Next up, if you're a veteran
I
anime
didn't watch
watcher,
this.
then you
I don't
probably
know
remember
about
this
this.
certain anime called Hajime no Ippo.
It gotta be a good anime since I see it a lot of time, but
高速のシフトウェイト
never watch it.
体を振った反動で左右を叩きつける
Because I assure you, if you're a die-hard fan of sports anime like Slam Dunk, Ice Shield 21 and many more, the scene where Ippo unleashes
I'm
his
not
ultimate
really,
move,
no.
the Dempsey roll for the first time
There's
against
nothing wrong with
Gonchai
anime,
will
it's part of
absolutely
anime. I
give
just
you
don't
goosebumps.
watch it.
For starters,
I watched the
Ippo
volleyball
didn't
one, but I don't
actually know that
remember
the
the
move that
name,
he
though.
created already had a
Watched a
name, and it
couple
was the
of
Dempsey roll. As
episodes.
Ippo told Gamogawa that he would end the match in a KO,
But I'm
he
not
was
really
oozing
into
with
anime
confidence
sports.
that it shocked his coach. It was Ippo's first time using the Dempsey roll on a moving opponent, but his tenacity, endurance, strength, and perseverance made his attempt a success against the Thai boxer Ponchai, who proved to be a difficult opponent for Ippo. Ultimately, in just 2 rounds, Ippo was able to seal the deal and win his comeback match by unleashing his newfound technique, and would win more matches using the Dempsey roll, making it his signature move. The impact was amazing, and even the animation was so crisp, so that's why it became iconic. Hold your horses, because we have Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann versus
We got the
Anti-Spiral.
sci-fi anime, bro. I hate them. I do not like them, bro.
Imagine summoning a mech that dwarfs galaxies and operating it. I mean, think about it. The size of the mech is estimated for its height range to be at least 348.48 billion light years to 10.45 trillion light years. Compared to the observable universe, which has a diameter of 93 billion light years, the STTGL is at least 3.7 to 112 times taller than the observable universe. Now, imagine yourself a normal human operating a mech that huge, and that's not all. Their enemy, Anti-Spiral, grew the same size as them, and both clashed with huge drills with an estimated size of 100 universes.
But what is
As they
going on
clashed
with all those
drills,
numbers?
They created a vortex that sucked in the surrounding galaxies, and I'm fairly certain that as the galaxies were pulled into the vortex, not a single one survived the imminent destruction brought upon STGGL and Anti-Spiral. If there was something you could use as a metaphor for the word ultimate, it would be the Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
Whoa.
Coming in strong is the OG, the GOAT, and one of the heavy hitters known in
Goku.
anime, Son Goku unlocking Ultra Instinct.
And that's a super classic. After like what, 50
During the
episodes or some
Tournament of
shit.
Power in his fight against the mighty
Super
warrior
was nice
Jiren,
as fuck,
Goku
but I
was
remember
pushed
watching
into
it.
a tight spot and on the verge of losing. Even when Goku was in Super Saiyan, Blue Jiren easily overpowered
Jiren was
him.
just
Now,
that
keep in
powerful,
mind
it
that
was
before
insane.
Ultra Instinct was even a thing, Super Saiyan Blue was Goku's strongest form. This just shows the huge gap between Jiren and Goku. Goku managed to retain Ultra Instinct through his unending will to survive the sheer destructive force of the Spirit Bomb that nearly killed him. It's aesthetically beautiful to watch Goku achieve Ultra Instinct for the first time. The change differs from his previous forms with its distinctive and arresting visual design, which includes silver hair and an aura. This change and the battles that follow are depicted with detailed animation and artistic skill, providing the audience with a visual feast. In this state, Goku is at his peak and displays great feats of strength.
How old Goku is? Like 30 something?
Moving on, this
Holy
is probably
shit.
one of the goofiest displays of
Joy
ultimate
Boy.
power in anime. Monkey D. Luffy's Devil Fruit Awakening into the Sun God.
See, a lot of
Nika.
people were hating on this one, bro, but like, that's literally the point. It's goofy. Sun God.
This shocked a lot of fans because of its cartoony animation. With his newfound ability, Luffy gains godlike abilities by letting him do anything he can imagine. For example, he can affect living beings and inanimate objects and defy the laws of physics, which is an insanely overpowered ability to have. Now that Luffy possesses the Toon Force, he's able to dominate the fight against Kaido. Even though Kaido landed devastating hits, Luffy ended up hitting back stronger, as if he didn't even feel them. Without a doubt, Luffy's peak exceeded everyone's expectations. Instead of a badass transformation, he basically turned into a cartoon character, which is actually fitting for him, seeing how Luffy's always been a free-spirited character.
Yeah, when you think about it, yeah, that's true. Luffy always been goofy.
We have another one, which is one of my
All
favorite
for-
scenes in
all
all
for
of
one.
anime. All Might uses
All
the
Might.
United States of Smash to defeat All for One.
ユナイテッドしてやつら
In a last-ditch effort to finally put an end to All for One's evil ways, All Might, even though he was in a tough spot with his quirk being at its limit, fought with everything he had to defeat his archenemy. Putting everything he had in that one punch really burned that scene in all of our brains. All Might's determination to protect and save others despite his physical limitations adds a profound emotional weight to the move. The phrase United States of Smash itself evokes a sense of grandeur and power, reflecting the larger-than-life nature of the character and his ideals. The animation and artwork for the United States of Smash scene are particularly well executed. The way it's visually depicted with impactful animation,
That
dynamic
fight got me
camera
into
angles, and
fucking
dramatic lighting
My Hero
contributes to
Academia,
its
bro. He was
iconic
insane.
status.
But after
In
that,
short,
bro, he
the
just
moment
went
was
left,
just too
bro.
perfect with
They were
everything
doing
that was
some
happening.
bullshit, bro.
That scene alone encapsulates the core themes of heroism and sacrifice that My Hero Academia explores.
私はもう出し切ってしまった
Coming up, we have the moment when Adam uses divine reflection and copies the fist that surpassed time. Adam, the father of humanity, faces off against the strongest god in record of Ragnarok, Zeus. But even the strongest god couldn't do anything against Adam's broken ability, the divine reflection. As a man designed in the image
Well, he
of
can
God,
see
Adam was
everything?
gifted with the ability to perfectly replicate any move and technique he lays his eyes upon,
Oh.
including the ones used by divine beings. This means for every technique Zeus uses against him, Adam can copy it and fire it back at him. Even his strongest attack, the fist that surpassed time, was used against him. Ultimately, to beat Adam, Zeus used his final form, Adamas, and forced Adam to overheat his divine reflection, making it a battle of endurance. But even after going blind due to his immense will to win for his children, Adam kept fighting and passed away standing. Ultimately, Zeus prevailed, but Adam had earned his begrudging respect. Next is Meliodas using Revenge Counter to defeat Hendrickson.
それがお
前の罪だぜ。
This is perhaps one of the best moments in the Seven Deadly Sins series.
Cap.
Meliodas is seen
Cap.
fighting
No,
what
it's
seems
not.
to be an
It's
impossible
not.
battle
I'm sorry,
against
bro. I
the
do not
demonized
agree on that
Hendrickson.
one.
Meliodas
The
is
best
forced to use the last
one
trick in
is
the
when
series to
Escanor
end
was
this fight
fighting that other
swiftly, the
demon, bro.
revenge
Come on, bro.
counter. It
When the
works by
sun
Meliodas turning off his
went,
abilities
oh,
so
come
that he
on,
can
bro.
take and accumulate
This is not the
damage.
best one.
After
I
Meliodas has
disagree.
taken enough damage, he charges his blade with power and strikes his enemy with it. This is considered to be Meliodas' ultimate attack, but using revenge counter, we see just how tough Meliodas actually is. Even though he took all those attacks head on, we can still see him getting back up and proving why he's the captain of the legendary Seven Deadly Sins. Meliodas' revenge counter is a good example of how an ultimate power should be executed. Due to his alignment with his character, the strategic elements it introduces, its visually impressive depiction, emotional intensity, narrative significance, and its connection to the series' themes, it's a move that proves Meliodas' identity as a formidable warrior and a central figure in the story. Moving on, we get to see Natsu use his Seven Dragons Flame Iron Fist to defeat Acnologia.
I ain't seen Natsu in a minute, bro. Fairy Tail, damn, it's been a long time.
Imbued with the powers of all seven dragon slayers, Natsu channels their magic, their feelings, their hope, and their determination into his fists, finally defeating Acnologia, a cataclysmically powerful dragon slayer that can take the form of a dragon at any time because of his overuse of dragon slayer magic and bathing in the blood of the dragons he's killed. With the combined powers of the seven dragon slayers and with the help of Lucy and other members of the Fairy Tail Guild, they're able to paralyze Acnologia's body, enabling Natsu to land a solid hit infused with everything they got, finally putting an end to Acnologia's reign of terror. What makes this an ultimate display of power is that this perfectly emulates the story of Fairy Tail, as the series places strong emphasis on the bonds of friendship and camaraderie amongst its characters. When Natsu achieved his victory against a formidable foe through the collective efforts and support of his friends and allies, it reinforced the series' core values and evoked an emotional response from the audience.
I don't remember watching this. Last time I watched the Fairy Tail was like 5 years ago, I think.
Burning himself in the list,
Ooh,
we have Yamamoto
now
using
we
his
talking.
Banzai to defeat Yuha.
Now we talking. Nah, that was definitely the best moment in Bleach, bro. Holy shit. That was insane.
During the 1,000-year Blood War arc, for the first time ever, Yamamoto finally revealed his Bankai to the world and displayed the ultimate power he possesses. Yamamoto's Bankai has 4 forms. The first is Zanka no Tachi, East, which eliminates anything Ryujin Jaka touches from existence. The second form is West, a defensive ability that covers Yamamoto and his blades in flames, which he can choose to be seen or unseen. During activation, the surrounding temperatures exceed 15 million degrees. The next technique is Zanka no Tachi South, a dreadful ability Yamamoto activates by
man, that
inserting
grandpa
his
is so
blade into the
OP,
ground.
holy
This
shit.
resurrects all the dead people that Ryujin Jaka has killed. However, this ability is meant to destabilize the mental state of Yamamoto's opponents before serving as a prelude for his final ability, Zanka no Tachi North. This ability allows Yamamoto to spread his flames to surrounding areas and to targets he wishes to harm. Anything these flames touch is reduced to ash. Yamamoto's abilities are proof of how he remained the captain of Gotei 13 despite his frail appearance for thousands of years. Undoubtedly, despite his tragic demise, Yamamoto remains as part of the strongest characters in Bleach. The depth of the scene and the visual and sound effects all contributed to creating one of the best scenes in anime history.
Yo.
ソウルソサイティも燃え尽きる
And part 2
Punching
just
through,
finished.
we have Saitama's killer move, Serious Series, Serious Punch versus Boros Collapsing Star Roaring Cannon.
マジ殴り
This one is a classic too, though. Bro,
Throughout the
how long
series,
was
Saitama
we're gonna
is
wait for
established as an
for
overwhelmingly
One Punch Man for the new
overpowered character
season,
who
bro?
defeats his enemies
We've been waiting
with a
forever.
single
Don't do
punch.
us like
This creates
GTA
a
6.
stark
Come
power
on,
disparity
man.
between him and most adversaries. Boros, as
But
the
at the
leader
same
of the Dark
time,
Matter
actually,
Thieves,
you
is
did
built up as
definitely
a
need a lot of
formidable
time
opponent who
because
can actually
Goro,
challenge Saitama.
all the
Boros
Goro
is
fight and
depicted as an
everything, they need
immensely
a
powerful
huge
alien
budget, bro,
warlord with
because
regenerative abilities, immense strength,
bro,
and
we
a
gonna
variety
be
of
pissed if the
energy-based
animation is
attacks.
ass, bro,
His
because
durability and regenerative
I read
powers
the
allow him
manga
to
and those
withstand
fights gonna
Saitama's
be
initial
crazy.
punches, making making him
know,
one of the few
we need a
characters
good
capable
animation,
of
so
surviving a
never
blow
mind,
from
take your time.
Saitama. The animation quality, attention to detail, and dynamic camera work contribute to the impact of the scene. The animation brings to life the intense battle between two titanic forces. The clashes between their ultimate moves give us a peek at how strong both characters are, but ultimately Saitama overpowers Boros. Aiming his punch at the sky, Saitama managed to blow away Boros' final attack and split the sea of clouds over a huge distance using just his sheer strength, making it one of the best moments when anime characters unleash their full power. With a more recent occurrence now, we have Rimuru using Beelzebub to consume Clayman.
ラプラス、君の言う通りだった。私は少しやりすぎたようです。
Despite being an adorable slime, Rimuru Tempest is a force to be reckoned with, having gluttonous king Beelzebub as the strongest skill in his arsenal. It allows Rimuru to absorb his targets whole into his body and gain their properties. Next, the skill then analyzes what's been ingested, allowing Rimuru to use another powerful skill, Mimic. With this skill, Rimuru during Walpurgis
Oh, my
punished
eyes,
the
bro.
Demon Lord Clayman for harming his subordinates and friends. Rimuru's skill,
I don't remember
Beelzebub, was
this.
strong enough to absorb Clayman's ultimate technique, Demon Blaster, like it was nothing. Not only did he absorb his attack, but by using Beelzebub, Rimuru was able to consume Clayman whole, preventing his soul
God,
from
something on my
escaping and putting an
eyes.
end to his wicked ways, showing the other demon lords that Rimuru and his country isn't a person and a place that anyone should underestimate. There's nothing more dangerous than an ability that erases the very soul.
君はいつも正しい。
With another fire user, we have Rengoku's 9th form against Akaza. Although this scene in the movie was anime exclusive, and even though Rengoku lost the battle, we've got to admit that the animation and execution of this scene aren't something anyone should ignore. Only the legendary Rengoku family would have the gall to jump straight to a 9th form after learning the 5 established forms of flame breathing. This original form is one of the most powerful attacks in flame breathing's repertoire, with a destructive capacity that's breathtaking to behold. Despite losing, Rengoku poured every ounce of strength he had in this one final attack, displaying the power he has and the tenacity of a dying man with principles to uphold. The animation was pristine, and it's well deserved to be called his ultimate trump card, a truly worthy entry to this list. Fighting his way into the last 3, we have Seo Halyang's
Man, damn,
108
that's God.
Torments
What's
of
this?
Mankind versus God.
一号、格式上。
That's a Chinese anime. You can see it already. It's easy to tell.
Seo Halyang is a character from another underrated anime called God of High School, and is a proud
Oh,
member of
never
the
mind.
Six. He was the 27th leader of
Ho,
the National
ho,
Congress
ho.
Association prior to giving that title to
Well, I think
Yumira,
our God of
who was
High
an
School
advanced weapons expert
does look
capable
like
of
a
using
Chinese anime.
108 national treasures. When the main villain of the story summoned a being wielding a sword and was revered by the enemies as God, Park Mubong was the first to step up and stop the creature's advance. Later on, Seo Halyang stepped in and aided Mubong by using the 108 Torments of Mankind, which consisted of various weapons from swords, bows, and guns. As Seo Halyang constantly dealt damage to God's sword, he finished the job by summoning a creature of his own, wearing a mask that bit God's swords and breaking it in the process. Not many characters are capable of challenging a god, but apparently Seo Halyang is a man who bites the sword of God and celebrates his victory, displaying his proficiency in using weapons and strength to overcome extreme adversaries. Next is when Saber Alter uses Excalibur.
That's on Fate. Yeah, it's Fate. This is Fate. Animation, you can see it. Fate does have the best animation.
Saber Alter is a darker and more ruthless version of the character Artoria Pendragon, who we commonly call Saber. Her transformation into Saber Alter signifies a departure from her traditional ideals and a willingness to wield power at any cost. This transformation sets the stage for a more intense and powerful display of her abilities. Excalibur is one of the most iconic and powerful weapons in Arthurian legend and within the Fate series. Its portrayal as a sword of immense and holy power aligns with Saber Alter's darker nature,
show, the
creating a
animation, the
contrast
fight's
that
so
makes the
good,
use of
bro.
Excalibur all the more
Holy
impactful.
shit.
In Heaven's Feel, Saber Alter's Excalibur is depicted as an even more destructive force than usual, capable of unleashing a massive and devastating attack. This version of Excalibur is often associated with overwhelming power and an aura of darkness fitting Saber Alter's character. It showcases both the character's
breaking,
inner
though.
turmoil and a willingness to wield immense power for her goals. And last but not least, we have Arnos using Venus Donoa against Melheis.
来いベヌス殿はお前は言ったな転生後は魔力の1割も使えぬもの
Anos Vortigord.
俺とてそうだ
Arnos Voldigod is the reincarnation of the man who was feared as the Demon King of Tyranny 2,000 years ago and is the main protagonist of the anime The Misfit of Demon King Academy. His skill, Venus Donoa, is probably the epitome of ultimate power because the abilities of this sword are just out of this world. Venus Donoa can nullify spells and reduce them to nothing. By destroying the order of the world, the Abolisher of Reason can slice a target without making contact with it. During the fight with Melheis, Arnos summoned Venus Donoa and quickly showed his opponent what absolute power looks like. Devastated by the fact that none of his techniques could touch Arnos, Melheis couldn't do anything but wait for his end to come. With a sword that annihilates all laws, no one in Arnos' verse could ever hope to compete against him, putting him in a class above everyone else.
言っただろう無駄だとなるほど正気に戻れメルヘイス
And there you have it. The top
I might
20
need to
moments where
watch,
characters use their ultimate powers. Although there
God
are
of High School again.
bound to be some moments that I've missed,
But I watched
let
the
me know what you
majority of
think in the
them.
comment section below. And
Really,
remember,
I really watched the majority of them. That was a good video.